If you're vice president of engineering at Google, it's suffice to say that you have it pretty good. That is an example of what your average annual compensation is going to look like. I will pause so you can count those zeros. Now, granted, most of that award is in Google stock, but Google stock is not a terrible thing to hold. But becoming a vice president of engineering at Google is not something that happens overnight, so let's take a look at what it takes to get there. This person is obviously technically capable across a lot of different things, but I want you to pay attention to the skills that allow a company to handle large scale. Having exposure to things like Hadoop MapReduce, database design, and generally distributed systems is a big plus for big tech companies. This person got their Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science from Pune Institute of Computer Technology before pursuing their Master's in Computer Science from Stanford. And for the first 2 years after they graduated from Stanford, they worked at companies that weren't very well known. Then they moved on to work at eBay as a staff software engineer, and obviously eBay handles a lot of scale. After putting in their 3 years, they moved on to become a software engineer at Google. It's important to note that they stayed in the individual contributor track for a long time, because staff software engineer, senior staff engineer, principal software engineer, and distinguished engineer are all positions on the individual contributor track. And as you can see, even as an individual contributor, you are making big money in those positions at Google. But eventually they moved into management to become the vice president of engineering in the data infrastructure and analysis lead team at Google.